Mr. DaCosta, Ms. Dunn, Ms. Coffinger,
Here.
Mr. Luna,
Here.
Ms. Ryan,
Here.
Vice President Gomez,
Here.
President Andrews.
Here. Please rise for the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Some of you may see on the agenda we had a moment of silence. I intended to do this, however, Mrs. Shanley has prepared something much nicer, so we will wait for her. In accordance with the provision of the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law, the New Milford Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof posted in the Borough Hall and the New Milford Public Library. Notices have been sent to the Record and the Twin Borough News. The board announces that under its long-standing policy, it will not discuss in public any comments made by members of the public concerning individual staff members. At this time, please be advised that all cell phones and electronic devices are to be turned off. Meetings of the board are open to the public and all members of the community should feel free to participate. Before coming to the board, the chain of command should be followed. There are two portions of the meeting reserved for comments from the public. The first at the beginning of the meeting for the agenda items only, and the second at the end of the meeting for other items. Issues raised by the public may or may not be responded to by the board, but all comments will be considered. The board requests that all members of the public be mindful of the rights of other individuals when speaking. Due to the confidentiality and legal rights afforded by the state of New Jersey, members of the public are asked not to speak negatively or in a derogatory manner about any employee of the board or any student. We are going to allow our student representative to present her report first, and then and then have the state of the district, and then conduct board business. So Mackenzie, it's your turn.
So hello everyone. I hope everyone is having a nice April so far. I like this microphone, it's really cool. So as I mentioned in our last meeting, our student council has been beginning and planning the events for our Spring Olympics. So currently we're receiving nominations for the artwork contest in our Olympics, and we're very excited to see all of the talented students create amazing artwork. Also, we recently hosted our first pre-event for the Spring Olympics, which was our rock, paper, scissors tournament during a fresh start period. And this event went great, and we're ready to kick off even more pre-events. And we're also in the process of gathering student input for our Olympic events, because our student input is very important to us. And they've had great ideas, including drafting our teachers to be a part of student Olympic teams, picking themes for the Olympics, and creating different day of events that can showcase our students' many talents. So that's what our student council is doing right now.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Mackenzie. And I will hand the microphone over to Dr. Stephanie Kuchar for the, is it her turn?
No,
This,
I'm just,
you're going first? Okay.
thank you. Is this mic working?
Okay.
We're going to wing it. All I know is that when Mackenzie speaks, everybody in the room is smiling. And when I speak, only half of you are smiling. Okay. Okay. So good evening. Okay. So our theme this evening is building on the power of dreams. I would first like to address a tremendous loss that we suffered in this community this past Friday. As a parent, it is impossible for me to even begin to imagine what kind of pain a family experiences when they lose a child. And while we're running a school district, we are witness to the kind of suffering this loss brings to his brother Chris, who's a student of ours at the middle school, his friends, his teachers, and to the community at large. Clinton Ajit was one of those quiet, kind, sometimes very shy young man. He was a consummate gentleman and a helper, and a hard worker, a lover of music, of acting, superheroes, and of sports. And although he was only a student in our district for a few years, he managed to make friends, even during the difficult period of COVID and remote instruction, which was approximately when he came to us. But he really began to flourish once we were back in person. Clinton played soccer, he ran cross country, played the trombone in the marching band, and he recently, according to Mrs. Schwartz, discovered his voice and asked her if she would help him, and he joined the choir. And although he wasn't a knight for very long, he really did exemplify everything we hope in our graduates. He was embraced by the community, because that's what New Milford does when people enter the Emerald Gates here. And Clinton had intentions of attending Montclair State University in the fall to study criminal justice because he wanted to be a police officer and continue to serve others. And serving another was his final act. I struggle to find the words to console those in our community who are heartbroken by this loss. Clinton had dreams. His parents had dreams for him, and we will never see what they might have been. But we could guess that it would have made us proud. Tonight's presentation, although this is district business, let's allow this business to be dedicated to Clinton and his contribution to our school community, as well as to the dreams of all the New Milford children. So on behalf of the Board of Education and our administration team present here tonight, I ask you if you will join me in a moment of silence to remember Clinton. Thank you. The dreams children have are clues to what their lives will become. And those who are encouraged to embrace their dreams will undeniably have a much more solid foundation of self-understanding and awareness. Some of the ways we can support the dreams of New Milford children are inherent in our programming. We are quite purposeful in balancing dreams with our reality, which we come to terms with during every budget season. But creativity is our friend as we build a path. Our programming, such as responsive classroom and responsive school training and implementation, begins with establishing our own hopes and dreams and encouraging our children and students to develop their hopes and dreams as part of the annual academic planning process and launch of every school year. We value the power of intentionality through personal goal setting, and we take action to manifest our hopes. In our classroom and classroom-wide collections, we introduce even our youngest students to the big dreamers, including plenty of books about little people who had big dreams, such as, many of them you know, Amelia Earhart, Stephen Hawking, Frida Kahlo, Greta Thunberg, Neil Armstrong, Harriet Tubman, who were all children at one time. And we celebrate dreamers like Mae Jemison, whose name I didn't know until I saw this book. The first African-American woman in space, beginning with her initial interest in space, followed by her teacher's suggestion that she find a more realistic dream. But Mae wanted to be among the stars, and we learned that her parents encouraged her to ignore naysayers, to match her dreams with hard work and determination. So our libraries include that spectacular biography, Mae Among the Stars. We value and structure time for our students, time to tinker and play, time to relax our minds and bodies so that way we may be receptive to dreams and open to new ideas. And we have invested and will continue to invest and support in constructivist learning through maker spaces at all grade levels, innovation centers, self-directed learning, student choice whenever possible, project-based learning, cooperative learning, inquiry-based science learning, and math, and a variety of experiential learning opportunities. We have established the philosophy here that anything is possible, and we do our best to say yes. The Board of Ed has supported both domestic and international travel opportunities, including trips as far as China on more than one occasion. And we do this to champion students' learning and their passions and to foster rich environments for grooming big dreamers. And the Board of Ed has embraced the much-needed advisory program at David E. Owens to address the unique challenges at the middle level, and of course has championed the district-wide social and emotional learning initiatives to nurture all students' development. The Board of Education has celebrated the growth of the high school academy programs, which are student-driven, passion-led, and have continued to evolve in the past 10, now 11th year. And in addition, we've grown our internship programs, dual credit partnerships, and our independent study opportunities. We continue to expand our course offerings and grow our practical, performing, and fine arts departments, as well as our athletic programs. Our students are dreamers, and we continue to see their dreams germinate here in their achievements in the classroom, on the fields, and even further in their competitive college acceptances, merit offerings, and their chosen career paths, as well as their commitments to serve others. This is who we are, and this is what we have successfully managed to achieve here. The budget is essentially a mechanism that allows us to do all of this for our students, and even during very challenging budgetary times, we can contribute to and listen to our students and offer all that we can within our means. That's our ultimate goal. Specifically, in this year's budget, we are addressing both needs and wants. We have added a new case manager position to the faculty to better support the needs of students with disabilities. Dance will be a new elective for middle and high school students with one new teacher who will share that responsibility. The middle school will also see a new addition to the music department. The appointment is on this evening's agenda, with digital music production and exploratory guitar as new choices for middle school students, and Music Around the World will return. At Gibbs, we will add another classroom section and teacher to support growing enrollment. The part-time elementary nurse position will become a full-time nursing position to support the instruction of the health units in both elementary schools. In March, the Board of Ed approved the David E. Owens Assistant Track Coach position, which will continue into next year's budget. And the only position that has been eliminated for next year, unfortunately, is the payroll specialist in the business office. This budget includes attention to the most important needs in all content areas at all grade levels, pre-K through 21, and was built from a zero base to address only the most important needs of students and teachers. Some upcoming facilities projects in our near future will be addressed by Dr. Couchard tonight. Our programs video that was created by two incredibly talented students who sit with us here this evening. And as we continue to move forward with a budget that supports continued growth and innovation, please know that we do so in every attempt to help our students achieve their dreams. Picture?
Good evening, everyone. Before I begin the review of the numbers, I just wanted to take a minute to thank the principals who collaborated with their vice principals, the athletic director, the director of special services and her team, Lauren on the curriculum and all that she did, and obviously Ms. Shanley for all the time that she spent with me going line by line through every detail of this budget. I had encouraged everyone to start from nothing, so it's the first time, at least since I've been here, that the principals were given nothing, and to be very thoughtful in what they wanted and what they needed to run their buildings and their programs. I also want to thank the Finance Committee for the challenges and the questions that were asked during this process, because I think this is truly a budget that has everything that's needed to run the district. The increases to the budget this year include increase to transportation costs, the increasing to the personnel that Ms. Shanley spoke about, and it also includes the curriculum writing costs. That was an increase in this year's budget. I know there may be some questions about the pie charts. However, this pie chart represents the major pieces that represent the budget. The general school administration, general school admin is costs that make up for central office. The building level administration is, the general administration is for building administrators. The maintenance of plants is cost to operate the buildings such as fuel, energy, custodial, maintenance, and grounds. OOD is out of district's placement, so those are special education students that are educated in other schools. The capital outlay is found in Fund 12. That includes classroom furniture, technology upgrades, which are access points and Chromebooks. It also includes security upgrades to the last two remaining buildings, and those two buildings will be upgraded to the lens system. And this budget also includes a withdrawal from capital reserve to fund the final secure vestibule in the district. The general education piece is instructional supplies. Special education is special education supplies, goods and services for students of that population. And the biggest portion of this budget is in salaries and benefits. The revenue side. So in a school-based budget, the revenues have to match the expenditures. The greatest revenue is the general fund tax levy. That makes up 80% of our total revenues. The prior year fund balance is monies from a prior budget year to fund upcoming budgets. So we have 4% of the total revenues. We have state aid that's money allocated from the state budget to fund our budget. Incoming tuition is tuition from parents whose students attend Over the Moon, and it's also from other local education agencies. So we receive students from various districts to attend our special education programs. And then lastly is transportation fees, interest, and miscellaneous, and this counts for less than 1% of our total revenues. And that is jointures that we have. We share a transportation with Dumont, Cresskill, Tenafly, Bergenfield, and Riverdale. And they pay, and we transport students to Bergen Tech. The average assessed home in New Milford is $330,492.41. This budget will have an increase on the average assessed home of $11.52, which equates to $138.22 per year. This slide is a result of the many questions that the Finance Committee has asked. We've seen increased costs, same as we've all experienced in our own homes, and that's that the inflation rate is rising over 8.5% over the last 12 months. We've experienced an 18% increase in fuel and an 11% increase in energy. The transportation costs are typically or historically fixed. This has not been the case since after the pandemic. The transportation companies have not been renewing routes, and instead were forced to go out to bid, and our transportation costs have been significantly increased. The cost of supplies, materials, and services is also rising. And so we were tasked with coming up with future solutions. A future solution that I had alluded to at the last meeting is transportation jointure agreements. I am working on something that would save over $150,000 that we'd be able to put back into the budget. However, it's not finalized, and that cannot come out of the budget just yet. This would include having our own route go to some of the out-of-district schools, and so we would be transporting 5 of our own students to an out-of-district school. And then we would also put that out to the various districts that we already have the jointure transportation agreement with. The direct install is a New Jersey Clean Energy program that includes lighting, small mechanical, HVAC throughout the district. A portion of this is going to be funded through ESSER, and the remaining of the cost will be paid by savings realized from high efficiency upgrades. At the high school, we're going to have new lighting inside and out, 5 split AC units, and 2 rooftop units. At David E. Owens Middle School, we'll have new lighting throughout, replacement of 1 2-ton AC unit, and the replacement of the boilers. At Berkeley, we'll have new lighting inside and out, and 1 10-ton rooftop unit. And at Gibbs, we'll have new lighting throughout and new boilers. The Green Initiative, after going one-to-one, we're really looking at the savings of paper, the cost of paper in the districts, and saving the money. And then we're exploring changes to systems. For example, our student information system, and this budget incorporates a substitute teaching service through ESS. The next slide says questions. I cheated it off.
These are questions for the end.
Okay.
This is what everybody waits for.
I love about school is reading, phonics, and doing homework. Part is doing making books and doing handwriting. I like that everybody's nice and all the teachers and all the kids are nice. Like I start to develop that friendship.
What do you want to do?
Be an artist and a DJ because I love music. We do math problems. I saw the time when he was stuck and he said he didn't know what a dime. I stick 10 fingers at him so he can know how much of the dime.
It explains everything to us in detail, and the if anyone needs help, she does extra help. So we can be secure and you can learn about, or math. I learned all the 5 parts of the coin and stuff, so I thought that was really interesting to look at. So I wanted to be an ophthalmologist.
I feel like everyone is just really helpful and very kind to one another. Really like tight-knit community, and there are no bad teachers. Like all the teachers are really nice.
The community at this school is like really strong. And I feel like everybody loves the school a bunch.
You have a lot of freedom. Like you can like sort of like have fun and stuff, but also like learn.
The school is very creative, and you can see the quotes on the walls. The garbage cans are all very creative here. The students use their imagination to create a lot of things.
They let us work together and let our minds be creative.
Like if you're struggling with something, I feel like I don't have a problem with I don't hesitate in asking a question because all the teachers are always so helpful and always willing to do a one-on-one personal attention.
You can meet people that are also interested in something that you're interested in, make new friends, stuff like that. We're all in the Milford Knights, we're all family here. All the teachers, all the faculty, we're all so caring. Yeah, I just feel very safe here.
You could be either the most athletic person or the most smartest person, or you could be both, and you would fit in anywhere. And no matter how many flaws you have, there's some little nook or cranny that you could fit yourself into and then work on educating yourself.
I enjoy after school. I like participating in the athletic. Start my regular day, go to school, and then I have practice usually from 3:30 to 6 o'clock.
I feel like all the teachers are able to relate to us, and they're very generous. If we have a problem with our assignments, we can go to them and feel comfortable. They make us feel comfortable in the school.
The community is very integrated, even though we have smaller tight-knit things.
There's a lot of diversity in the school. Like me, I'm in track, and just in that group alone, there's a lot of diversity.
I really love the community here and how everybody knows each other and everybody's friends. Everyone always says hi in the halls. I think we're a very tight-knit group and everyone's always nice to each other. The classes you can enroll in, for instance, I want to be a med student, so the fact that the school provides and gives you the opportunity to join so many after-school clubs and organizations and stuff is really good.
Especially with sports, I kind of learned how to discipline myself and how to really work hard and enhance my work ethic.
Clean up after our breakfast, and then we just sit down and have a conversation with each other.
Well, this is called a fortune tree, and these are things that we were grateful for, okay? I think I was grateful for my family and friends. Here, it's in a special place. I also want to try to be the first woman president. I'm going to try to run when I'm old enough. Yeah, I want to be a football player.
I want to be an NFL player.
The professional video game designer.
I do want to work in computer science in college and as a career. Something with cybersecurity or databases, networks.
I loved math basically my whole life. I was striving to become an engineer.
I'm gonna go major in mechanical engineering, so I'll make some cool things, maybe use that pretty cool.
I would love to be a writer. I guess that's my ultimate goal. I'm gonna hopefully study comparative literature.
I want to be a pediatrician.
I want to be an ophthalmologist.
I'll try to get into SWAT team.
I want to go into the military, and then afterwards I want to do something in economics. That's my intended major.
I either want to do something in entertainment or possibly be a teacher for kindergarten.
Do my own thing with music or acting.
So I think do something like my dad does, being a lawyer.
My name is Jenny Galova.
And my name is Bryce Octon.
And we're a part of New Milford's class of 2023. When I was asked to be a part of this video, I immediately jumped on. I think I can speak for the both of us that when we got called down, we were both really nervous. I had a little idea of what was going on, but I was still nervous.
I had no idea.
The day of filming, I was really excited. It was not because we got to skip a day of school or see the old teachers at school. It wasn't all that. Okay, maybe it was. I was really excited because we got to be a part of something bigger.
The day of filming, as we were walking through and as we were taking shots, I could already imagine what we wanted this to be and what we wanted to portray.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. When we were doing the interviews, I felt like I already knew what some of my peers and other students were going to say just because most of them, I was in the same spot as they were in a couple of years ago. I already knew what they would say, and that's...
School district is a special place.
New Milford's like my second home. I've been friends with people who feel like family just because I've been in school with them since, we were in kindergarten?
Yeah.
I feel a connection with every single teacher here. I may not have them as my teachers for regular classes, but I feel as if I can go to them with anything.
Another great thing about New Milford is that there's so many opportunities for people to express their creativity, expand upon their skills, or maybe even learn new ones. So everyone sort of has a chance to not only succeed, but also meet new people, create new friendships, and just make a better future for themselves.
I'm very lucky that every day I get to walk through these halls and share the same opportunities with everyone around me. For me, example, I got to film sports, film videos like this, and much more. I feel as senior year is approaching us, it's coming very quickly, but it's hit me that what I want to do for the rest of my life is create films and try and become a director and eventually own my own studio. I dream of going to the University of Southern California or NYU because those are amazing film schools and I've been to those places before, and honestly it was really hard for me to choose schools because some of them just didn't compare with the connection I had here in New Milford.
For me personally, some of you may have the same sentiment. I'm tired of the East Coast. So once I graduate, I'm aiming for a school in California, specifically either UCLA, Stanford, UCI. I've got family there. And in the future, I've always found myself working very well with kids. I can sync up well with them, but I feel like I can really do well in the job when I work with kids because it's something I enjoy. So I was thinking maybe going into some pediatrics. That was for my main goal. Thank you, Milford, for letting us follow our dreams.
I'd like to invite Janet and Bryce up.
We're so fortunate that they stepped up and that they were willing to do this work with us. It was the brainchild of Ms. Odoxta and the two of them, so I certainly can't take any credit for it, but they told the story more beautifully than I could have dreamed, so I just wanted to let everybody see your faces, and thank you so much.
Yes. Special appearance in the film.
Right?
I wanted to stay to see it. It was awesome.
I'll hire you to teach kindergarten. Okay. So now we are going to Tanya. Do you want to go to?
That was correct. That concludes my report.
Okay, thank you very much. And, yeah, so let's have the board take their seats.
Yeah.
Ms. Odoxta, do you have a report for us tonight, or she's not? That was the report. That was your report, correct? Yes. Just following the agenda. All right. At this time, we will open to the public for items on the agenda. As outlined in your Milford Board of Education bylaw 0167, each statement made by a participant shall be limited to 2 minutes. May I get a motion? Motion by Heather, thank you. Seconded by Paige. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And if the, yes, please step up to the mic and state. Unfortunately, we do so the viewers at home. So please state your name and address for the record.
Little page 136, Clinton Ave is the song. It's not even on. Can you push a little button? That's it. Oh, wait. There we go.
There you go, Dan.
Thanks, Lynn. Okay, Little page 136, Clinton Ave. I just have a couple of questions. BA 86. Can you just tell me what the change in the dates are? Is this change in Board of Ed meeting dates? What next year? Today. Okay, thanks. Alrighty. And P131. Music teacher, is that what you just talked about?
Yes.
Middle school, high school?
Yes.
And then the science teacher, I'm assuming, is middle school?
Yes.
And French teacher?
Shared.
Okay. And I think there was another thing. Oh, yeah. P148, approval of job description, transportation coordinator.
Yes.
Is that just a different job description?
Yes.
Okay.
It includes the required certification now.
Okay, so it's the we
Same,
already have
really the
somebody.
same role, but it includes the requirement for the certified transportation coordinator.
Understood, thank you.
And if there are no further comments from the public, can I get a motion to close? Motion by Nicole Dunn, second by Paige Ryan. All in favor?
Aye.
And since we did go a little bit out of order, we are going to, at this point, do committee of the whole to approval of the minutes for the March 15th work session, the March 15th closed, and the March 16th regular. Can I get a motion? Motion by Anthony Elbra, seconded by Heather Gomez. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Board action. I would like to make a motion for BA 86, BA 87, BA 88, BA 89, and BA 90. I would like to say on BA 90, I am thrilled there was a resolution reached, and while we no longer need the shared agreement with the mayor and council, I would like to thank them for their willingness to work with us when we thought we did, and truly appreciate the partnership that we continue with the town for the benefit of the students and the community. Can I get a second? Seconded by Nicole Dunn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Educational and Programs Curriculum Committee. I would like to get a motion to approve C35, C36, C37, C38, and C39. I would like to say myself, it's wonderful to see so many field trips. Special thank you to C36 and C37. And also on C35, the culinary competition sounds really exciting. So good luck to them, and please let us know how they do. I'd love to hear. Okay. Are there any other questions or comments from the board members?
I do have a comment. So,
Paige, do you have a mic down there?
do I need it? I can use my other voice.
Yeah.
So C38 and C39, the summer programs, and the C39 is more like end of year into summer. Thank you for continuing to do that for our students. And on C39, in the past, we've always done things, we've made sure that our K to 8 students have a lot, but for the high school, it's not always, it's kind of thought that they have things to do. So I think it's wonderful that we're able to do that, and I really look forward to other programs, not just theater, that we'll be able to give to the students. So thank you for putting that in.
You're welcome. And I think it's important to mention that since this was, these are mostly ESSER funded, we actually did a budget for summer enrichment for next summer as part of this budget. So it was something that we knew we needed to sustain, was important to families, especially the fact that these are of no cost to families. So academic enrichment programming for next summer is part of this current budget we're asking you to approve tonight.
So you made a motion, so you need a second.
Yes, I need a second, please. Seconded by Joseph Luna. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Having the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve P124, P125, P126, P127, P128, P129, P130, P131, P132, P133, P134, P135, P136, P137, P138, P139, P140, P141, P142, P143, P144, P145, P146, P147, and P148. Can I get a second?
Oh, yeah.
Paige, you okay?
Second.
Oh,
I would say roll.
seconded by Paige Ryan. Roll call, please.
Mr. Albro?
Yes.
Ms. Calderon?
Yes.
Mr. DeCosta?
Yes.
Ms. Dunn?
Yes.
Ms. Coffinger?
Yes.
Mr. Luna?
Yes.
Ms. Ryan?
Yes.
Vice President Gomez?
Yes.
President Andrews?
Yes. Finance Committee, Paige Ryan.
Thank you. Wait. You need my.
Okay, I make a motion for approval for F-174, F-175, F-176, F-177, F-178, F-179, F-180, F-181, F-182, F-183, F-184, F-185, F-186, F-187, F-188, F-189, F-190, F-192, I need a, 91, sorry, and F-192. I need a second.
Seconded by Nicole Dunn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm okay with everything except for F-187. My vote is no on that.
Motion passes.
I also have to vote for no on F-187.
Okay. Motion passes 7-2. Athletics and Co-Curricular Committee, Nicole Dunn. Facilities.
You're both.
So you might as well just roll right into it.
I seek a motion for FA22, FA23, FA24. I seek a motion for AC13 and AC14.
Motion by, who's sitting down there? Cheryl Calderon. Second by John DeCosta. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And I would like to give a very special thank you to Mr. Beltoff for volunteering. Volunteers are always very...
Yeah.
We didn't do that yet.
No, we did.
Facilities.
Yeah. Okay.
So, very special thank you to Mr. Beltoff for volunteering. Very much appreciated. And from what I've heard, the middle school students are really enjoying track so far. And P130, as mentioned last week, very, very much with regret. Very wonderful teachers, and you will be missed. I'm just still not sure we're going to accept it, even though we did. Do any other board members have anything to say? Are there any liaison and board committee reports?
We approved the budget, so I don't know if you want the finance.
No. No, okay. additional board items. We also, very sadly, we need to acknowledge the passing of two people. The first is James Gaffney, who is the president of the board, Bergen County School Boards Association. And the second is Lou Coco, a retired New Milford teacher and student data coordinator. Both individuals have a legacy of dedicating themselves to improving schools for students, and they were incredibly respected by their peers and colleagues. They will be missed. Old business? New business? Can I get a motion to open to the public as outlined in New Milford Board of Education Bylaw 0167? Each statement made by a participant shall be limited to 2 minutes. Motion by Nicole Dunn, second by Paige Ryan. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? If there are no, do you have a question? Yeah, this will be the time. Please step up to the mic, state your name and address for the record.
Thank you. Daniel May, 616 McCarthy Drive, New Milford, New Jersey. First, I'd like to thank all the board members. I know this is a thankless job most of the time, and you volunteer your time, so thank you so much for all the work that you do. I just want to let you know it is appreciated. And I apologize for my dress. I just came back from baseball practice, so I was out there practicing with the kids today. I'm trying to piggyback a little bit off of what we were talking about with the track. One of the things I've noticed with playing with the baseball, my son has friends in other jurisdictions, other towns in Bergen County, some smaller than ours. These towns have a baseball program, a middle school baseball program. I actually also wanted to bring it up maybe for a basketball program for the middle school. I went to middle school here, and we did have a basketball program back then. Most of these activities occur right after school, and they're done usually by 4:30, 5 o'clock. We have great rec programs here, so it would not affect the rec programs because they're usually later on in the day. But I think it's a great idea to have for almost a feeder program, so the coaches here actually can see the kids before they go and play at the high school. I think sometimes some of the kids here feel a little lack of interest because we don't have that in these middle schools. You know, they love to play together. We have a little league right now, and it's tough. We have a lot of kids. We have 3 separate teams, so they don't get to play together all the time. I just think that's something that we may want to take into account. We want to keep the kids in school. We want to keep them around. It seems like, you know, my son goes to middle school, my daughter goes here. As soon as school's over, everybody's out the door. And I just don't think that's something we want to do. We'd like to keep them in school, keep them involved. I just think it would be something that would benefit the kids in our town. The Little League, like I said, we have 10 games for this season. The basketball, we had about 10 games for this season. I also have a daughter, and I figured this would probably fall in Title IX if we're going to have a boys basketball team and a boys softball team, basketball and baseball team. That also softball. Softball's very big in town here. But again, they're limited to like 6 games a year. And the girls' basketball is very big. So for the middle school, I just think it would be something that we should try to take into consideration and maybe move forward for that. We have the buses for transportation. I'm sure the parents would donate for the uniforms. It'd be great if we could get a high school coach, but there's plenty of us here with 60 credits who, if we had to volunteer our time, could. So I just would be something that we might be able to take in consideration for maybe next year, moving forward with some of these programs. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. May. If there are no further questions or comments from the public, I seek a motion to close to the public. Motion by Joseph Luna. Can I get a second? Second by Cheryl Calderon. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Yes. I would like to ask, is there someone that Mr. May could direct his interest to within the school district? Would that be Mr. Riccardelli?
How about, I'm going to say noted.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Mr. Seymour, did you have any, Councilman Seymour, I don't want to put you on the spot, but you always have something for us, and I try not to forget you. Did you want to make any comments?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Good evening, it's nice to see everybody. We have several events coming up in the borough. On April 30th, we're having a food truck festival, which is going to be down at the swim club. That's going to be between 12 and around 6. On May 15th will be our second annual Spring to Wellness event in recognition of Mental Health Awareness Month, sponsored by the New Milford Municipal Alliance and also our Sigma Free Committee. It's going to include yoga, meditation, the New Milford Police Department Drug Awareness Workshop, and arts and crafts activities for our kids in our community. On May 30th will be our annual Memorial Day Parade starting at 9 a.m. And on June 12th, we're going to have our ribbon cutting for Knightsfield. So, and I also thank you for your kind words earlier. We also very much value our partnership with the district and the board. Thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you, Mr. Seymour. Yes.
If I could just add to the list of wonderful community events that tomorrow afternoon, the junior and senior art students are hosting a junior-senior art show reception right here in town, not far, around the corner at the Art Center of Northern New Jersey, which is on Center Street in New Milford. And they usually have a wonderful showing of art, and I believe it's from 4 to 7. My note here says 5 to 7, but I think is it 5 to 7? Okay, so from 5 to 7 p.m. tomorrow, so if you have an opportunity to see the beautiful work that they do, it's right around the corner.
Sounds like an eventful day. I'm going to go from a track meet to an art show to middle school casino night. Yes. Exciting, exciting. Are there any board member requests for additional information? Yes, Tony.
Ms. Andrews, could we get a
Wait, Tony, can someone pass him the mic there, please?
I can project. Ms. Andrews, could we possibly get at some point a follow-up report regarding the softball spring training trip? Successes, what they would change in the future if they wish to do it again, that sort of thing?
Ms. Shanley is nodding her head yes.
We can, although I don't have it at this moment.
No,
but we certainly can.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Thank you. Will do.
Thank you, Tony. Are there any other board member requests for additional information? Okay.
Oh, sorry. I do, actually. Ms. Andrews.
Yes.
So, because it wasn't mentioned, I don't think it was mentioned, that this presentation and that video will be made available, right? So will that be made available on the website? After this evening.
That was a yes. She didn't say it into the mic. Yes. Okay. I'm a stickler for the mic. Okay. We are going to adjourn, well, actually, we're not going to adjourn. The board needs to go into closed for personnel. When we come out of closed, we will not be taking action. So, can I get, it's not on here, do you need to write it in? No? Okay. Can I get a motion to go into close? Motion by Heather Gomez, seconded by Anthony Albro. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So, should we go or not?
We don't have to. Publicly.
Okay, so we are going to ask everyone to step outside. You're welcome to stay if you want, but we are not taking any action.